Hey everyone, welcome back to In Focus with Ken Clough Photography. I'm your host, Ken Clough, and today I'm pulling back the curtain a little bit to give you an inside look at what a week in my life as a professional photographer really looks like. Now, a lot of people think photography is just showing up with a camera, snapping a few pictures, and calling it a day. But the reality is, it's so much more than that. There's the art, the business, the connection with clients, the late nights editing, the marketing, the equipment upkeep, and yes, even recording this podcast. So I thought it would be fun to walk you through what a typical week looks like for me. You'll see it's a mix of photographing, editing, planning, marketing, and finding ways to keep myself inspired. Whether you're one of my couples, a family thinking about portraits, or even another photographer tuning in, I think you'll enjoy hearing what goes into this life behind the lens. The heart of the job, photographing clients. Let's start with the obvious, photography. This is the heartbeat of what I do. It might include a Saturday wedding, a couple of portrait sessions during the week, maybe an editorial or commercial job sprinkled in. When I walk into a wedding day, I'm not just thinking about the photos I'll take there, but also the story I'm going to tell. Weddings, especially, are these incredible, once-in-a-lifetime moments filled with emotion. From the nervous anticipation of a first look, to that huge sigh of relief after the vows. I get to be there capturing it all. But it's not just about clicking the shutter. It's about being present, anticipating the moments before they happen, and helping couples feel comfortable enough that they forget the camera is even there. That's when the magic really happens. Portrait sessions add a different rhythm to my week. Family portraits, senior sessions, or professional headshots let me slow down and really connect one-on-one. I love how each type of shoot taps into a different skill set. Weddings are fast-paced and unpredictable. Portraits are about drawing out personality and comfort. Editorials let me experiment and flex creative muscles. Every shoot adds something unique to my week. Sometimes it's a lakeside sunset engagement. Sometimes it's a high-energy editorial shoot for publication. And sometimes it's a professional portrait session where I get to help someone present their very best self to the world. But every time, it's a privilege. Editing and image processing. Of course, photographing is only half the story. After the shoot comes the editing. And here's the truth. I probably spend more hours editing in a given week than I do behind the camera. Editing is where the raw material becomes a finished story. I go through hundreds, sometimes thousands of images, carefully selecting, color correcting, adjusting exposure, making sure skin tones look natural, and giving each gallery a cohesive, polished feel. For a wedding, this process is especially intense. Imagine culling through 2,000 to 3,000 images from one day, narrowing it down to about 400 or 500 that truly tell the story. That takes focus, patience, and a deep attention to detail. It's not just about fixing things, it's about enhancing. A slight warmth to a golden hour photo, the softening of shadows in a portrait, or bringing out the richness in a black and white. Editing allows me to make sure the images don't just look good, they feel right. I've developed workflows that keep me organized. Lightroom catalogs, backup systems, naming conventions. A good portion of my week is spent at my desk, headphones on, coffee nearby, immersed in this quiet but powerful part of the process. It's not glamorous, but when I hit export and see the final gallery come together, it's incredibly rewarding. Communication is key. Another big part of my week is communication. Photography is a relationship-driven business, and I'm in constant contact with people, whether they are couples planning weddings, families looking for portraits, or past clients checking in. A lot of my week involves responding to inquiries. When a newly engaged couple reaches out, they're often overwhelmed with decisions. I see my role not just as answering questions, but as guiding them, helping them to understand how photography fits into the bigger picture of their day. Then there's the ongoing communication with current clients, confirming timelines, talking about shot lists, helping with album designs. Clear communication here makes the whole process smoother and gives couples confidence that I'm not just their photographer, I'm their partner in planning. I also take time to connect with past clients. A quick message on their anniversary, or delivering an extra print, just because. It's those small touches that keep relationships alive long after the wedding. Some of my favorite clients come back for family sessions years later, and that continuity is such a joy. Social media and storytelling online. Social media takes up more of my time in a week than people realize. It's not just posting pretty pictures. It's creating stories, reels, and captions that show my work and my personality. When I post a wedding reel, for example, I want viewers to feel the emotion of that day, not just see the images. If it's a portrait session, I'll share a little about who the person is and why the shoot mattered to them. That storytelling is what makes posts resonate. It's also about consistency. I'll spend time planning out posts for the week, choosing images, writing captions that sound authentic, and making sure everything aligns with my brand. Some days I'll batch, create several posts at once. Other days, it's more spontaneous. And honestly, social media is where so many couples find me. I've had people tell me, "Ken, we booked you because your posts made us feel like we already knew you." That's the kind of connection I'm aiming for. Marketing the business. Marketing goes hand in hand with social media, but it's broader. Every week, I carve out time for marketing tasks, updating my website, running ad campaigns, or connecting with venues and vendors. I might share images with a venue so they can showcase their space with my photography. Or I'll prepare for a bridal expo where I can meet dozens of couples face to face. These marketing efforts aren't just about creating leads. They're about building trust and presence in the community. Marketing also includes back-end work like reviewing analytics, checking which search terms are bringing people to my site, and making adjustments so I'll reach just the right audience. It's small steps, done consistently, that keep the business growing. It may not feel creative like photography does, but I see marketing as another form of storytelling, showing people who I am and why I love what I do. Creative growth and personal projects. One of my favorite parts of any week is when I can squeeze in some creative play. These are shoots I do for myself. Editorials, theme sessions, black and white projects, or just experimenting with new techniques. These sessions often lead to publication opportunities. But even more importantly, they sharpen my eye. When I'm experimenting with dramatic lighting or unusual compositions, I'm training myself to see differently. Later, at a wedding, those skills come back to serve my clients in ways they might not expect. Personal projects also keep me inspired. Photography can be demanding, and if all I did was shoot to client expectations, I'd burn out. By creating space for play, I stay energized, and that energy translates into better work across the board. Business operations. Let's not forget the business side of things. Every week, I spend time reviewing contracts, tracking expenses, updating spreadsheets, and preparing invoices. It's not glamorous, but it's necessary. Running a successful photography business means wearing multiple hats: artist, marketeer, accountant, and administrator. I'll dedicate certain blocks of time to these tasks so they don't pile up. For example, Monday mornings might be for bookkeeping, while Friday afternoons are for reviewing the week's numbers. Having structure keeps the business running smoothly and allows me to focus on the creative side when I need to. And honestly, staying on top of the business side is part of how I deliver a professional experience. Couples and clients deserve someone who is well organized and reliable. Gear and maintenance. Gear upkeep is another weekly responsibility. Cameras and lenses don't clean themselves, and nothing kills the mood faster than fumbling with dirty glass or dead batteries at a wedding. I take time each week to clean lenses, check sensors, recharge and rotate batteries, and back up memory cards. I also update firmware when needed and reorganize my gear bag so that everything is ready for the next shoot. It may sound simple, but this attention to detail prevents problems. I've been at weddings where another photographer's batteries die mid-ceremony, or a memory card fails. Preparation ensures that my clients never experience that. And beyond maintenance, I'm always evaluating what gear is working best, what needs replacing, and what might give me a new creative edge. Scouting and preparing for shoots. Preparation isn't just about the gear. It's about knowing the location. If I have a wedding at a new venue, I visit it ahead of time, walk the grounds, and take note of the lighting conditions. I'll check the forecast, plan backup locations for rain, and even think about how the time of day will affect shadows and golden hour. This scouting allows me to walk into the wedding with confidence, so when things move quickly, as they always do, I can adapt and still capture amazing images. It's a kind of preparation couples don't always see, but it makes all the difference in the results. Staying inspired. Inspiration is fuel, and I make a point of refilling the tank every week. Sometimes it's looking at the work of other photographers. Sometimes it's diving into old film photography books. Sometimes it's simply going for a walk with my dog, Moxie, and noticing the way light falls through the trees. I also draw inspiration from cinema. Watching how directors use light, shadow, and framing gives me new ideas for how to approach a wedding or portrait session. The point is, staying inspired isn't optional. It's part of the job. Because if I'm not inspired, how can I expect to inspire confidence in my clients? Building and expanding community. Photography can feel solitary at times, but I believe strongly in community. Every week, I make space to connect with other photographers, whether it's grabbing coffee, mentoring someone newer in the field, or collaborating on styled shoots. I also work closely with vendors, florists, planners, venues, DJs. These relationships are more than just professional. They form a supportive network. When we all work together, couples get the best experience possible. Part of being a community also means sharing knowledge and cheering each other on. I've learned so much from peers, and I try to give back the same way. It's one of the most fulfilling parts of this career. Podcasting as connection. And of course, part of my week now includes recording this podcast. In Focus with Ken Clough Photography started as an experiment, but it's become one of my favorite parts of the week. This podcast lets me connect with you, whether you're a potential client, a fellow photographer, or someone just curious about photography. It's a way for me to share not just the polished, finished product, but the thought process, the stories, and the reality behind the image. It's also a creative outlet. Speaking into the mic, planning episodes, reflecting on my work, it gives me perspective. It keeps me accountable to keep growing, and It builds another layer of trust with my audience. So that's a week in the life of an independent professional photographer. It's photographing, editing, communicating, marketing, creating, maintaining, preparing, networking, and yes, podcasting. It's busy, it's full, and it's deeply rewarding. And while every week looks a little different, what never changes is a commitment to telling stories through images and to giving my clients an experience that's personal and meaningful. Thanks for spending time with me today. I hope this gave you a better picture, pun intended, of what goes on behind the scenes. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen. And if you know someone who's curious about photography or looking for a photographer, share it with them. Until next time, I'm Ken Clough, and this has been In Focus with Ken Clough Photography.